Hello, St. Joan of Arc families. On this second Sunday of Advent, we light our Advent candle as a prayer for peace. And in our Gospel, we hear John the Baptist tell us to prepare the way for the coming of God. Bringing these two things together inspires our question. Let's read it together.
How can we prepare the way?
Joan Chittister says, "We are God's dream for the world." You are God's dream for the world. Jesus gives us a clue what God's dream is. I give you my peace, Jesus tells us over and over. Go and share that peace with each other. Remember our Advent theme? Will you harbor me? Shine a light for all to see. I will harbor you and bring you home. Last week we talked about what it means to have safe harbor. A safe home, healthy food, a safe place to learn, and freedom to worship God. When we have safe harbor, we have the strength to give safe harbor to others. And when we give these things to others with respect and love, we live in peace with each other. And this is how we prepare the way for our God, the light of the world, to be born among us. Today we have a story for you, Winter Candle, written by Jaron Ashford and illustrated by Stacy Schwett, in which a community finds that when they share a candle for their diverse celebrations, they come together as a safe and peaceful harbor for all. Our reader is Richard Dodson.
Nana Clover checked her list. Turkey? In the oven. Potatoes? Peeled. Napkins? Folded just so. Candles? How could she have forgotten? Thanksgiving at 3C Juniper Court without candles? Unheard of. Down she padded 3 flights to the super. Candles, Nana C? Asked Trev. He opened a drawer and handed her a lumpy stick of wax. It's not pretty, but it'll burn. Nana Clover spread her pine cones and leaves all around the frumpy candle. By the time her family arrived for Thanksgiving, the centerpiece glowed. 2 weeks later, 2C was in an uproar. The Havdalah candle's not here, Nat yelled from the closet. In the kitchen, Mom sighed. I forgot to buy a new one. Avi's lips quivered. But the stars will be out soon. It's it's not the end of the world, Grandpa told the Danziger children. Avi, go ask a neighbor for a candle. Up Avi clattered and rapped on Nana Clover's door, and down he clumped with the bumpy, drooping candle. Avi's brother stared. That's not a Havdalah candle, Sam groaned. It's not braided. It only has 1 wick, Nat complained. It's not pretty, agreed Grandpa, but a candle is blessed by what it does, not how it looks. It'll shine. And shine it did, as Mom raised it high. Grandpa said the blessing to end the Sabbath. Avi held his hands to the light. They had never had a Havdalah candle that burned so bright. 4 mornings later, it was 4D's turn for a disaster. "It's broken!" Kirsten wailed. Liv came running. 1, 2, 3, 4 candles on the Santa Lucia crown, and the 5th one snapped in 2. "Our cousins will be here any minute," said Kirsten. "How can I be Santa Lucia with only 4 candles?" Liv started to cry. No Santa Lucia crown, and no special Santa Lucia breakfast. "Girls, we have plenty of time," Mom reassured them. "Kirsten, go ask a neighbor for another candle." Down Kirsten dashed 2 flights to the Danzingers, and came back with the funniest-looking candle the girls had ever seen. "Everyone will laugh at me," moped Kirsten. But nobody laughed, because as Kirsten carried in the teapot and Santa Lucia buns, the funny-looking candle gleamed as brightly as the Star of Bethlehem. Winter came, snow fell, and presents were exchanged. The new year began, and in 5A, it began with calamity. "Jamila's got something in her mouth," Dante hollered, "and I don't think it's food." Dad scooped up the baby and stuck his finger in her mouth. A piece of wax. A bit of string. "Oh no," Dante howled. "Jamila ate the faith candle for the Kinara." "Go see if the Ericksons have one," his sister Monet suggested. Down the stairs Dante plodded and knocked on the door. "You're lucky we still have this one," Kirsten said. She handed him the bedraggled little candle. But Dante didn't feel lucky. How could they talk about faith with that sorry thing? And it wasn't the right color. But when Dad lit the stubby candle, the flame leaped and danced, inviting the other 6 candles to do the same. A few days later came the biggest snowstorm of the season. Snow blanketed the front steps and made drifts on the windowsills. Then just after nightfall, the electricity went out. Flashlight beams flickered in a few windows. In 5B, the newest family at Jupiter Court huddled together in the dark. Their clothes were still in suitcases, their dishes were still in boxes, and Papa was somewhere in the new city with a moving truck full of furniture. "How will Papa find us?" Nasreen asked. "The street lights are out." "Papa won't find us," cried Farouk. "There's too much snow." "Of course he will find us," Mama said. "Nasreen, go next door and ask the neighbors for a candle. We'll put it in the window to light Papa's way." Next door, Dante scratched his head. "I think there's one left from Kwanzaa," he told Nasreen. He returned with a lump of wax that looked like a fairy tale troll. Nasreen's mother lit the candle and set it on the windowsill. "How's Papa going to see one little candle in a big city?" Farouk asked. But as they watched, the flame shimmered and grew. It glittered on the falling snowflakes until the dark street seemed spun with stars. Many blocks away, Papa slowly steered the big truck through snow-covered streets. What did that sign say? Pine Street? Vine Street? But then Papa noticed a glow up ahead. Maybe someone there could give him directions. Papa steered left, then right, then left, closer and closer to the growing light. Papa turned the corner and gasped. There in front of him, 5 stories up, shone a warm, welcoming light. he was home. Papa climbed 3 floors, 4 floors, 5 floors, and then, "Papa's here!" Nasreen and Farouk flew down the hall and into their father's arms. "Come see our new house, Papa," cried Nasreen. "And look, everyone else is coming too." The little apartment filled with neighbors. Dante's family brought chairs and a folding table. Nana Clover made a bed out of blankets for Nasreen and Farouk. Trev brought a small heater. The Erickson girls and their mother made sandwiches, and the Danzingers put a pot of soup to warm on the camping stove. Everyone welcomed Nasreen and Farouk and Mama and Papa to their new home. And the gnarled little candle glowed so brightly in the window that when the electricity finally did come back on, no one even noticed.
In our story, a funny-looking little candle brings a community of very different people together. The shared candle moves through each family's life, bringing an unexpected brilliance to their celebrations until it serves as a beacon, a shining light to welcome an immigrant family to their new home. This is God's dream for the world, a safe harbor, a place where all people live together in peace. As we move into our Advent season, may you live in God's peace.